France aircraft carrier R-91 Charles de Gaulle replacement program begins. The French carrier Charles de Gaulle, also known as R-91, is France's first nuclear-powered surface vessel and its only carrier, making it the principal long-range striking arm of the French armed forces. The French Navy began to examine the task of building new carriers in the 1970s. The two serving carriers at that time, Foch and Clemence, were constructed in the early 1960s and would need replacing sometime in the late 1980s. Together, the two conventionally powered carriers ensured but at least one ship will available at all times as nuclear-powered aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle. France is set to replacement of the sole aircraft carrier of the French Navy. The Charles de Gaulle will be decommissioned by 2040, according to the 2019 to 2025 military planning law. The Ministerial Council France to studies on replacement of Charles de Gaulle aircraft carrier, Naval Group, formerly DCNS, Evolved Aircraft Carrier, DEAC. This design could serve as a base for the Charles de Gaulle aircraft carrier replacement program. This design is also being offered to India. We reserve the possibility of having an aircraft carrier at the same time as the Charles de Gaulle or after, a source close to the Minister of Armed Forces Florence Parly told AFP. According to AFP, France plans to allocate €295 billion to its military between 2019 and 2025. With the objective of increasing defense spending to 2% of GDP in 2025, according to the draft military programming law. Although promised for decades, France never bought a second aircraft carrier. The latest proposal was to build a France-optimized variant of the UK's Queen Elizabeth class, but that proposal has gone quiet. Despite many promises, it appears increasingly likely that France can no longer support the financial cost of two carriers. For now and the foreseeable future, Charles de Gaulle is the only game in town. Navy recognition understands that both the French Navy and Naval Group, formerly DCNS, were hopeful for new aircraft carrier studies to be funded as early as possible because there is a very slim window of opportunity. If studies are funded between the end of 2017 and the end of 2018, there is a chance for the potential Charles de Gaulle replacement to be ready in time for the next refit of Charles de Gaulle. France's sole aircraft carrier is currently undergoing its midlife refit. Refits are scheduled every 7 years on average. For comparison, the Royal Navy's HMS Queen Elizabeth first steel cut took place in July 2009, she was launched in July 2014 and started sea trials in June 2017. As we reported several times in the past, France's future aircraft carrier, if funded and built, will feature EMLRS by General Atomics. Discussions between DGA, the French Navy, Naval Group and General Atomics have been taking place for a while now and are still ongoing. The French Navy was even briefed by Navier on both EMLRS and AG at the test facility in Lakehurst last summer. In June of last year, U.S. Chief of Naval Operations Admiral John Richardson awarded the Charles de Gaulle Carrier Strike Group the Meritorious Unit Commendation for participation in Inherent Resolve. More recently, during the SNA 2018 trade show held in Washington, D.C., in January, Navy recognition learned that the French Navy has been briefed on E-2D Advanced Hawkeye by Northrop Grumman. French Navy POW who confirmed that procurement of E-2DS is being considered as part of the 2019 to 2025 military planning law. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe.